knew the area, right? Knew Grand Bend, knew Lake Huron. Did a little bit of research on Parkhill, but when I seen the pictures in the real estate ad, the curb appeal at the front of the building here spoke to me. The big L shape, all the little curved windows. When we started to do our research, right, because you can love a building all you want, but you got to believe in where the foundation is, right, and the life that goes on around it. So we did our research on the town and all the conveniences and the shops and everything you would want kind of in an everyday life in your small town. And so once we did that, we did a little our due diligence. We put in an offer and it was ours pretty quick, pretty quick.
What you're about to see is unlike anything else in Ontario. A breathtaking conversion of an 1874 church. And the best part, we are located only 30 minutes from London and 15 minutes from Lake Huron's beautiful sandy beaches. Stick around and you're going to learn every detail of how they executed this amazing transformation, and you're going to hear some incredible stories with people who have very deep roots in the area. Welcome to another Prime Property Tour.
And when we pulled up, like the splash pad at the park, and like everybody was out walking, and we pulled up to this church, and it was like this perfect size. And it was like, this is the curb appeal, the courtyard, the extra backyard. There was just so many things about the property that we were like, yeah, this is a no-brainer. Like, this is a perfect size for a family, perfect size for a couple. Like, there's just so much about it that was easy for me. And I would say that one of the drawing features that like solidified, like locked and loaded this deal was the beams. So, because you don't always get beams in churches that are in great shape and that are exposed. So, you know, for us to be able to have something that had this much character already, instead of having to infuse more character into it, was definitely something that I was like 100% on board with, yeah. Truthfully, I think we design the homes the way we would want to live. So the way we would want to see things, the way that we want to emphasize the character that's already here and enhance it. Mm-hmm. So we took the beams that were in pretty tough shape and made them new again. You know, we took the windows that were already beautiful and made them for today. So that kind of stuff is easy to be able to kind of like transform into today's world. And then in terms of the modern luxuries that we would want to see in a home, those things come with time as we go through the design. So it's like a bit of a process that you start off with, like the bones, you know, so to speak, and the main characteristics. And then as you infuse our own personality and our own character into it that we would want, then I think that brings it to life to be able to function in today's world. I think for us, the purpose of having the layout be the way that it is and it flows well is that you can't imagine it being any other way. That's how you know that you've nailed it, right? Like that it's like, of course that's what it is. And why would it be anywhere else, right? So, and then when you walk in and to have everything the where it is and placement of it, I think for us, it's, you know, you want it to feel modern, but you also want it to feel like that could have always been that way. So like the tile choice and the fireplace choice, those things could have always been that way, right? So you do know that it was a church, but it doesn't necessarily feel like you know, you're limited to what the church would have felt like. Now you're in a home, right? So that kind of switch up that's the trick.
Hey, happy Friday. Linda and I are just out here checking out our newest acquisition, the Parkhill Anglican, which we'll get started on late 2022, early 2023. Have a good Friday, guys. Now we have assembled a team of contractors and trades that
trust.
that's a joint mutual relationship.
Right.
They buy into what we're doing, and we got to buy into what they're doing and the work and the quality. We certainly didn't have that team in the beginning, right? We were new, we were figuring things out, but we're really particular who we bring on board with us, because at the end of the day, we're very particular and we want to put out a high-end quality product, but that's our buyer. So we're being held accountable. It goes all the way down the chain, right? And if there's any kinks in that chain along the way, it's not going to work. So I won't say our team's perfect, but we're always striving for that perfection, right? And it's
part of our
communication.
brand. Like it's part, that we want to create something that, we're not just going to renovate these 150-year-old structures and specifically churches so that they could not last, 10 years, right? Like we want to be able to build something and create something that's going to withstand. That's why we do these projects, right? So that it's an honor to take these buildings and to take these churches that have so much history steeped into them and to be able to do them justice. It's never really a happy thing when churches close. It's not ever something that's
It's not a
welcomed.
celebration, no.
And the people that are hanging on for the last few years, as the numbers start to go down,
Or finances dwindle
and
down.
dwindle. Like it's not a happy time. So when the congregation or people that have spent their years here or have family memories or just any type of tie to a building like this, for them to show up at the end and be happy that it's turned into this, we had the congregation here and they, some of them didn't want to come because they wanted to remember it the way that it was. So when they did come, they were extremely, it was closure, and it was something and that's the word that they actually used, was closure, for them to be able to see their space as it was, move on to something that was beautiful and that they could tell that we put as much care and heart into it, on behalf of them and on behalf of everybody that came before us here. There has to be some sort of justice that we have to do to these types of buildings, not just for us because we our name's on it and we want to make sure that it's done well, but also because the people that were here before us, they deserve that, and the church deserved that. So that's important to us, and it's really rewarding and validating when those people come and they're happy. When at something that was so sad for them for so long.
It's full circle for them.
Circle.
The last time I walked through these doors was for my sister's wedding in 1999. This church has been a part of my family for generations. My mom grew up in this church. She sang in the choir, she taught Sunday school here, and she sat in the third pew from the back with my grandparents and aunts. Every corner of this church has so many memories, and not just for my family, but for so many others in this community. To see this building transformed into a stunning home while preserving its character and history is truly something special.
I grew up 8 minutes outside Parkhill, actually, on a 115-acre organic garlic farm, hobby farm, actually. My sister, my brother, and my parents and I ended up going to elementary school here. We moved from London when I was 3, and I went to Sacred Heart Catholic School and then North Middlesex District High School. Got my first job in Parkhill, and then after going to university, I decided that I would chase the Olympics and actually go out to Vancouver. So I moved to Vancouver for 13 years and lived a great life out there, but something changed when I started having a family of my own. And I had this draw to go back home and introduce my kids to the rural community where I grew up and be with their grandparents and be around like the family that I was raised around. So My husband and I moved back to Ontario, and my mom and my dad serviced the Middlesex community for like a long time in real estate. And so when I came back, I actually joined my father on that real estate venture. And it's just been like such an incredible opportunity for me to be able to get back involved with real estate and helping the community in North Middlesex. And I'm so proud of how Parkhill has grown so much and all the efforts the municipality's making to make it a comfortable and safe place for people to grow up and raise their families and, you know, weave themselves into the community. And like, I'm just so impressed by what they've done here, and that they saw the potential in Parkhill when they bought this property, and they invested in the community, and they elevated this already incredible landmark and turned it into something that could be, you know, someone's home or a potential business location for somebody with a really cool commercial venture, or a potential short-term rental like an Airbnb. Like, imagine the possibilities for this place. Church Street Properties, Linda and Brad, they're recognized by the Magnolia network. They were featured on that as well as Apple TV, and to see them just invest in this community, it's really neat. So I'm really honored to be bringing a property like this to the Parkhill market. I can't wait to see people's reactions and find the right buyer for it. It's a very special property.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own a piece of history. Renovated by none other than Church Street Properties, who's been featured on Apple TV and Magnolia Network. This property is a trophy. Clearly, Vanessa and Danielle are passionate about Parkhill, and this is an emerging market. A lot of times people are asking us, where are the best places to live? Where are the best places to invest? If that's something you're curious about, contact us immediately. We'll show you exactly what life could be like here.